What's the worst part about being a quadruplet? Finding out one of you was never supposed to exist. Growing up, everyone called us the Miracle Quads. My parents wore that title like a crown. Reporters showed up when we started kindergarten, and strangers stopped us in grocery stores to take pictures. 4 identical faces, 4 matching outfits, 4 everything. We were a brand. But last winter, while I was digging through the garage for old Christmas decorations, I found a crumpled manila envelope wedged inside a box labeled taxes. The handwriting across the front wasn't my dad's or mom's. Inside were medical records, yellowed with age. The top page had one line that nearly made me drop the folder. Selective reduction, triplets to twins. I froze. Triplets? To twins? My hands shook as I flipped through the stack. Ultrasound scans showed 3 tiny shapes labeled A, B, and C. Then a later scan showed only 2. Notes scribbled in the margins said things like high risk, financial strain, and not viable to continue all 3. But that wasn't what broke me. It was the discharge summary at the very bottom, stamped in red ink. Procedure canceled at patient request, meaning all 3 survived. I spent days spiraling before confronting Mom in the kitchen. She went pale the second she saw the folder. "Where did you get that?" she whispered, grabbing for it. "We were supposed to have twins," I said, "but there were 3. What happened?" She sat down at the table, her face in her hands. Dad walked in halfway through, and for once, he didn't jump to cover her silence. He just stood there, shoulders heavy. Finally, she admitted it. When they found out she was carrying triplets, the doctors warned the pregnancy could kill her. They scheduled a reduction. "But then something happened," she said, voice shaking. "They only reduced 1, not 2. And when you were born, there were still 3 of you. The scans, the reports, they never matched up. So you tried to get rid of me?" My voice cracked. She couldn't answer. She just sobbed into her hands. Dad finally muttered, "It wasn't supposed to happen this way. We weren't ready for 3. We couldn't afford 3. That night, I stared at my siblings across the dinner table. 2 brothers, 1 sister. Which one of us was the mistake? Which of us wasn't supposed to exist? Mom swore she didn't know. The doctor had never told her which fetus had been targeted. "You were all just there," she said, like that explained anything. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Every fight we'd had as kids, every joke about being copy-paste versions, every photo where we were perfectly lined up. I saw it differently now. One of us was never meant to be in the picture at all. It could have been me. It could have been my sister. And none of us would ever know. I spiraled deeper when I went online and requested my own birth records. Weeks later, a thick envelope arrived. At the bottom of one report, under notes, was a chilling line. "Fetus C survived against odds." I read it over and over. Fetus C me, I was fetus C. The weight of it hit me all at once. My entire existence, every laugh, every fight, every memory, was an accident that wasn't supposed to happen. My parents had gone through with the procedure, had signed the papers, had tried to erase me, and I'd survived anyway. I haven't told my siblings yet. Sometimes I catch myself staring at them too long, wondering if they'd look at me differently if they knew I wasn't meant to be here. Sometimes I wonder if they'd be relieved. The worst part about being a quadruplet isn't the matching outfits or the lack of privacy or constantly being compared. It's knowing you were the extra one, the one who slipped through the cracks of a decision that should have erased you. And no matter how much I try to move on, every time I look in the mirror, all I see is fetus C, the ghost that lived.